back. Hello everybody, welcome back to Keep It Real, episode number 67. Here we go, straight on with it. So today we are, I know what we're doing. We've got to finish putting slurry on our 3 main fields. Yep, I've kind of done a little bit of it already. I actually just tested it just prior to pressing record to make sure that slurry tank did actually work. After the disaster of what happened last time in the last episode, where I couldn't actually figure out what I was doing, I thought, do you know what? Let's give it a quick test first of all. So I'll tell you what, if I just jump into map view, I don't do this very often, but I will just show you. So here you can see the rolling has been finished, but it's pretty poor, and that's because I just can't see where to do it. So it is what it is. We're just going to go with that. Doesn't matter. The areas there where it says needs ploughing, the red pieces, are the various little bits of tyre slip that I've caused all over the field. So luckily we haven't damaged the majority of the crop. But yeah, we've had a bit of skidding. We've even kind of done a bit of skidding in the neighbour's field, which is a bit odd. But there you go. That must have been Thierry's fault. I will just show you, if I go into here, nitrogen. So as you can tell, I've gone around the outside here with that slurry tank, the one that we're right in front of actually, but it doesn't applicate the full amount, which I thought would be the case anyway, so I'm not surprised. So normally with slurry, it takes 2 times the amount. It's just not as strong, I guess, as kind of shop bought fertilizer granules. So yeah, we can finish that now, and then we'll we'll go down here. So this is a good example. This is where I went over it with the fertilizer spreader, and then it ran out at this point. So you can see that's perfectly applied fertilizer, exactly what we need. When I go over the rest of this with the slurry spreader, it's still going to be orange, so you just need to do it a couple of times, but that's fine. And then this, the majority, fortunately, was ready to go as well, so that it's not going to take a great deal. And I am pleased to say that if you see everything here, basically went around the headland 2 times on 6,000 litres of slurry. It doesn't use anywhere near as much as what I thought it would use, so that's fantastic. That is actually really good. Now, I rushed into the slurry tank and leased the one with the wrong capacity as well. So I've released that. It's cost us, well, probably about £300 more. But that is what it is. I think it's worth the cost in sanity. The fact that it's going to save me a lot of drives all the way down to here, back and forward. Hopefully the capacity now is enough to get certainly those 2 fields done in one go. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So what we're going to do is jump out on that screen. We're going to start off, we'll do our usual. I have put food in these at the end of the last episode as well, just to try and maximise what we're doing. So they got 8,000 litres of food, which is fine. We've still got 60,000 litres of slurry. Loads of slurry, so much. It might even be worth selling some of that as well, you know, because it is worth a little bit. Can't eat the handle, mate. Not very tasty. 718. We might as well do our usual while we're here. Fill that up, top it off. I must remember I kind of spilt a bit inside that shed as well. Good. Yeah. Oh dear. What's going on here now? I'm making a right mess. Well, you have to just feed that yourself. You have to peck it off the ground there, ducks. I wonder if I can get that without getting a bag from the pallet. Yeah. There we go. The trigger's a bit random. See, I naturally would want to tip it into that kind of trough there, but no, it's not working. Right. We'll drop that down. That will do. Good. So let's get on with it. So I need to hopefully seamlessly refill this with slurry. Now that I've actually figured out on camera how you do it. Oh, and it's causing me to fly. I might have actually pulled away a bit too much this time. So, oh dear. Good start. Good start. Right, yeah, this should be no dramas hopefully this time. Then we'll head to the other field. Now I don't think that the worker Thierry kind of gets on very well with doing slurry. Don't know why. Let's just attach the hose. Come on. What's... Honestly, this is just a disaster. This whole entire mod has not been easy from day one. Let's disconnect it from this end. Yeah, let's try it this way. Yeah, for some reason the workers don't get on too well with... Come on. There we go. With doing slurry. I just tried it off camera because I don't want this episode, not let's go miles so far. I don't want this episode to kind of have loads of disasters in it. But right, what am I doing? Open manure flow. Good. Right, then we know now. So yeah, we will do the slurry in ourselves. I think what I'll do is head to the other field where the Ford still is, absolutely lagged in lime. It needs a wash actually. You know I like a dirty tractor, but when they're dirty covered in lime, it's a bit different. It doesn't have the same effect. Right, so I need to change this. It's wrong, isn't it? So I actually need to set it to fill in, and then the source pump or target is empty. Don't be so silly. Oh dear. Do it again. I need to set it to empty in. There we go. Right. Yeah, so you will notice now the capacity is a little bit higher. Borderline unrealistic, but you don't have a lot of choice with the mod, so it's fine. It's about 20,000 litres, I think that holds. But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, if we're saying that other little tank that we've got holds 10,000 litres, that probably potentially is double the size. We'll go with that. Alright, whilst that's doing its thing, which is relatively slow, 91 pieces there from the ducks. These ducks are starting to produce pretty good. We have got another pallet of apples, and how far are these? 1, 2, 4, 283, 283. Okay, we're not desperate for money, are we? But you know that £2,167 that we've got there in the top corner. As soon as we skip into August, that'll probably be minus. We do have bills. We have a lot of bills, but we've got so much to look forward to. We've got a lot of money to wait for, so... No, this must be nearly done, surely. Okay. We're going to get the other tractor. I got carried away like I always do then, didn't I? We're going to get the other tractor, which the Ford, which is absolutely plastered in lime. I don't know whether or not I'll clean it first. Maybe I should do. But we're going to go down to the bottom. Not to the bottom, but to this particular section here, and then maybe we'll give Thierry the task of cutting the grass, because that's kind of the one last main things to do. We need to fill up that silage bunk as much as possible, and then yeah, that'll be additional. Good. Right, this looks like it's done now, which is great. So always remember, find the trigger, close the manure flow. Again, FS19, it leaked out. I don't know if it does do it on this one. Maybe it won't, but I ain't taking that risk. Right, let's run over our hose. There we go. Yeah, right. Oh, 24,000 as well. Even more than what I thought. But again, it is still a game, isn't it? As much as I try and be realistic, I can't help the way that the game is set up. Yeah, it's definitely bigger than 6,000 litres, though, I would say. So, our tiny little... kind of milk tanker is 3,000 litres. Nearly had an RTA then. Okay, right, let's head on down. Right, we are approaching, so I just thought I'd jump back in. So again, I hope everyone is really well. I really appreciate you're kind of sticking around, I guess, for the time where I was not really producing a lot of content at all. But hopefully now I'm a little bit more consistent again. Now the kids are back at school, it's certainly a little bit easier. And thanks again to the membership. So I mentioned first time, I think during that abandoned farm series, I think I mentioned it. I did it initially because YouTube was just giving me so many notifications, and yeah, it was kind of a bit annoying, really. So I thought I'll do it, but I didn't think I was worthy of anyone giving me some of their money. And even now, I don't necessarily want it, but really do appreciate it. And yeah, the memberships are going up now. So as it stands, we've also got Justin, who I've mentioned before, first ever member to the channel. Bendercat, very, very closely behind, so I appreciate that, Bendercat. Leroy as well. Leroy and Bendercat, not only have you got membership, you've kind of done the super chat, you've tested the super chat for me. Bendercat's obviously helped me quite a lot to set up the Ko-Fi and put money on that as well. I noticed, I always forget to check it, so Leroy, Bendercat, thank you so much. Jerry Bates as well now is a member, and then finally Official Bloody Fury. So I do watch Fury quite a lot, even your reaction videos actually, I do quite enjoy those. But yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. Is it like Official Bloody as in you're bleeding, or is it like bloody a bit like Travaskis would say? Oh, bloody hell. I don't know. I know that you're from a little bit further north than me, so maybe it's bloody like bloody hell. Not sure, but yeah, thank you very much anyway. So as it stands, 5 members. 5 members. I really do appreciate it. Now you might have just seen them, by the way. I've just pressed B to see if I can get Thierry, and he gets confused. Look, he thinks the tank is empty. Well, it's not. It's got 24,000 litres. But yeah, he gets confused. So that is what it is. This will be a job which we will do. But I'll abandon the Agri there, ready to go. I'll jump into this machine, which is actually absolutely filthy. I think maybe I should wash this, you know. We're going to go and use this on grass to make some nice, fresh, good quality silage for the cows. We shouldn't really be driving in lime. No, I don't think we should. I don't think, from a realism point of view, maybe when it comes to producing cow food, we should have kind of clean equipment, shouldn't we? Again, I don't mind a little bit of mud. Hashtag dirty tractor, but I think spreading or dropping lime everywhere is not great. So we'll go back, we'll get this cleaned, give it a quick clean. It did rain in the last episode, so we definitely can simulate there's a bit of water in that header tank to use the hose pipe. So we'll do that, we'll head down. I'm pretty certain that Thierry will be more than happy using that mower, and it is massive. The great thing is, Thierry's got this wonderful ability of completing jobs without skidding everywhere, I notice. So that's kind of fantastic. He's obviously a better driver than me, or it could be because the AI just doesn't know how to skid. But yeah, wonderful. So we'll get Thierry busy. Maybe he can do the entire, maybe he can do the rowing for us down there. And then we'll just do the compacting right at the end of the episode. And then, you know, maybe we want to raise some funds, just a small amount of funds, because we are now, well, we're going to be August, aren't we? So we're not going to be August. What am I talking about? August is before September. I should know that because we're at the end of September. We're going to be October. So I'm sure I said August once already in this episode too. October, November, December. I need, say if it's 2,000 a month, I need to have about £6,000 really, so that I can skip through, give that farmer that little bit of respite again that we mentioned, skip through to December, because there ain't a lot going on. In December then, we know we can sell the fully packaged flour, we should have that silage ready to go, and we can then go over the fields again with slurry, yeah. As long as it doesn't cause crop destruction, we will have to see, won't we? Anyway, right, we're nearly here. I'll normally I'd say I'm just going to cut this bit and I'll meet you back at the field, but I know that some of you, Bendercat, just as one example, would appreciate actually seeing me clean some equipment. I know, this is unusual, isn't it? This is like a special occasion. This is to celebrate the membership. So to celebrate all of the memberships that you've given me, I'm going to clean just one, only one piece of equipment. Problem is, when you clean this, you see how old and beaten up it looks, don't you? Yeah. This thing could really do with an upgrade to power as well, you know. Anyway, look at that. Doesn't that look wonderful? And old. Let's go for it. I'm pretty certain I left the mower down at that field already. So I'm going to jump down now. I'm going to get Thierry set up. Get him working. Maybe I'll trim around the outside bit first, the headland. And then I will jump you back in when I'm making that long walk back to the Agri. Yeah, all good. It's all going good so far. It's only, what is it? Just nearly 10 past 10 game time. So we're tracking alright. Tracking alright. Hopefully I can get all of this done. The next episode there might be a little bit more interesting. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I'll catch you in a bit. I will just jump you back in down here, just as a bit of a reminder of where we're at actually, because it's been a while, isn't it? So I'll turn the little help menu on. So we've got, say, 36,000 litres of chaff there, ready to be covered. And hopefully, I mean, this hasn't been treated as well the second time around, but if I can add another 25,000 litres of chaff or grass into there, that would be pretty good, wouldn't it? Now, I just thought I'd also jump into this view, because from here, from a distance, it doesn't look like I did a bad job, does it? From a skidding point of view, I skidded a little bit when I drove in the tractor. You wait and see this. Yeah, that's pretty awful. That is pretty awful. I've absolutely, look at it. I destroyed it. There you go. Realistic mods, something that we're not going to have for FS25, probably not straight away anyway. Now I will just start it because again I don't think Thierry has any wheel slip. I don't think AIs generate the wheel slip, which is great, but does this tractor have the power? I mean it's not a very good start. Oh, there we go. It's just got to find the right gears, isn't it? Come on, you can do it. Yeah, it is struggling a bit. We need 2 more powerful tractors. We really do. Yeah, this ain't working. No, in fact, it's just sinking into the ground. Okay, wow. Good. Brilliant. Let's walk back to the Agri. Let's get on with the other jobs. See, I can't use the Ford tractor to do the slurry spreading either, because it's just not got the right kind of hitch for it. I mean, as you can see, you probably remember, it pretty much lifted both back tyres off the ground when I connected it. No good. Wow. It's going to slow me down a little bit. That affects my plans a little bit. Part of me wonders... Oh gosh, I've got my feet wet then. Part of me wonders, do I lease something bigger? Do I just bite the bullet? Maybe I just sell the Ford tractor and lease something with a lot of power, but still has the option for narrow tyres. Because that's why I bought the Ford. That's kind of its main reason, really. It's walking a bit slow, isn't you? Oh. Yeah, so if I lease something bigger, maybe something new, it might cost a little bit of money every month. We'll have to see how close we are to paying off our loans, I guess. But it's not unrealistic, is it? I imagine there's quite a few farmers that kind of have to rely entirely on leasing equipment. Yeah. Maybe it's time. 67 episodes in. Maybe it's time we lease our first big, proper, new tractor. Dunno, something like a nice, powerful New Holland takes my fancy, you know. It's been quite a while since I've used something like that. Yeah, maybe. Right, I'll have a think about it whilst I'm doing this field. Make sure we're not going to get run over. So yeah, this the width on this, you will see now anyway, but the width on this slurry spreader ain't great. It's not very good at all. Now, really, I should turn that little map off at the bottom. So let's turn that off because that's unrealistic. There we go. You wouldn't have a big fancy screen like that in this old piece of Agri, would you? Right. The good thing is, the line has helped me identify where I have and where I haven't. And even now, I still cannot see where I've missed rolling. I can't see it. Maybe it'll be more obvious once the ground is dark again. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it ain't very wide, is it? And for some reason, it's still missing loads as well, which is annoying. But anyway, this won't take too long. I will pop it into a little time lapse. I'm sure I got a little short French style, French sounding song which I can put on in the background like that. I quite like that kind of French version of Benny Hill, so I'll stick that on a minute. I'll catch you in a sec. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now, for some reason, you probably that time lapse probably looks really odd actually. When I was going up and down this way, it was missing loads and loads. When I started going up and down that way, it wasn't missing any. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's because I created this field. It is quite bumpy actually. Doesn't look it from here, but yeah, it is. It's a very uneven field, especially when you get down to this section. It's got quite a drop on it, definitely. But either way, I am going to check the map again. I don't really like to do this. See, I went over this entirely. See how uneven it still looks. So a second layer of slurry would probably fix that quite well down to green. The issue is, I mean, I mentioned it already, but yeah, that's not ideal actually. Because, well, you wouldn't spread slurry when crops are germinated, would you? I mean, I don't think you would anyway. Surely it would kind of burn the crop. So actually, this is the only application of slurry I will do. Once we skip through into the next month, which is definitely October and not August, yeah, we ain't going to be able to spread any slurry. It's not going to happen. So let's make the most of this now. I'm going to head down to the bottom two fields. Shouldn't take too long. And you know what? We might as well just sell it. We might as well just sell whatever's left in the tank. I think the BGA will give us some money. Won't be a huge amount of money, but they'll give us some money for doing it. And then I'm thinking, well, do I save the rest for the next season? Is it even likely we're going to make it into the next season? Would we have bought the main farm before the next planting season? Yeah, I think we would have done. So I'm kind of thinking, let's just sell the whole lot. It's like another 40,000 litres of slurry there. It ain't going to be worth much. It really ain't going to be worth much. But if it makes us, you know, 4 or 5 grand at this point, that's okay. I'm happy with that. That's, again, that's paid for the cows, isn't it, if anything? So, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So, let's head on down to the other field. And, yeah, fingers crossed we can go get the grass cut still. Because we need to do that this month. We have to do that. So, hopefully I can see... typically, I can't see what has and hasn't been done. Because I limed it after I put that fertiliser on. That's good, isn't it? I didn't realise I did that, but there you go. So, not a problem. We'll aim to cover this field entirely in slurry. And, yeah, the great thing about it, I guess, is by putting a half measure, a half job down with the slurry. Let's do it again. Oh, okay, no, it's working. Yeah, look, why is it missing so many bits? Why is that? That is quite frustrating. It's very frustrating. When I get to the top, I'm just going to go straight down, and I wonder if it'll work again. I'm actually thinking it's not the fields now, it's probably this slurry spreader. Maybe. Doesn't seem to like slightly uneven bits of ground. I don't know. Anyway, as I was saying, the great thing about doing this is it means when we actually go over it with solid fertiliser granules, in December most likely, it will only use half the amount, because of course it will only sense it needs half the amount. So actually in the long run it is saving us money. This has definitely been worthwhile. Yeah, let's see, I go down this way, doesn't miss a bit. Doesn't miss a single bit. Strange, really odd. It's either something to do with how the map's set up, or something to do with this particular slurry spreader. But that's fine. I'll just have to do it the long way, won't I? Up and down this way. Right, let's just pump this into another time lapse. And yeah, hopefully we can just quickly go over the bottom, the very bottom, last field, which you can kind of see over there in the distance. Oh, it's not even in the distance anymore. Look at the size of that now. It's massive, isn't it? What a good field. Yeah, we'll get that done as well, maybe in the same time lapse. And then I'll jump you back in once I've made my way back to the grass field, I guess. So I'll see you in a minute. Well, I assume you can see this. You've probably just seen it in the time lapse. The Agri's dead. It's just... I mean, how long ago was it? 2 episodes ago, I fully repaired it. We changed the engine and we fully repaired it. And it's already gone through that. This is now officially a money pit. A really bad money pit. And I'm not going to fiddle. I'm not going to fiddle with the tractor. I'm not going to change the easy devs to, you know, off camera, make it look like it didn't just die. This is the one main series I have where we want this to have the issues like we do in real life. So yeah, I was speaking out loud earlier on about maybe we lease a new tractor, and yes, it's going to cost us a bit of money, but I think maybe the Agri was listening to me. Maybe, but yeah, I cannot keep spending the money on repairing this all the time. It's every other episode at the minute. It's getting silly now. So while we're here, let's have a look, because we haven't actually done the used shop thing this episode anyway. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Don't think so somehow though. But from a leasing point of view, it wouldn't be that expensive. We looked at this before. Again, I could probably raise the funds, by the way, if I was to sell some of the product we have, and not at its best price, but I reckon we could raise those funds. Yeah. What a disaster. And there is nothing, is there? Wow. Okay. What a shame. What a shame. If we were to get the Agri towed back to the shop, it's worth £5 at best, isn't it? Really, if you sell it at the shop, it gives you a bit more. But I've got to spend the time, the hassle actually getting it there. Let's have a look here now. I don't want anything less powerful, but base game's going to cost a lot of money, isn't it? We could lease a better, newer quality one for £1,708 per month. You know, this is, you can probably tell by the expression in my voice, maybe this was not planned, absolutely not planned. So maybe I need to do a little visit at some medium-sized tractors on Mod Hub and see what's available and come back in. Go for something different. I mean, that's a show. I've never used that, but it's only 140 horsepower. It's no good, is it? A voucher. These are small tractors. Look, that goes up to 201. And you know, I quite like voucher. I do like vouchers because I just like the look of them. I think they look quite angry, don't they? Look at it. It looks like a hornet or something. But that's very similar. It's not the same, but it's very similar to what I use in roleplay story mode. And I always like to use something different. I've used case before. I use class, not that one, but again, I use that in roleplay story mode. I always go for something I haven't used before on the series. And really, there's only 2 brands, because I use the Zeta. I've not really used the Fent. I got a choice of 3 brands. I got the Fent, which again, they're no good because they're less power. We need the power. We need 180 to 200. Massey Ferguson, I don't use very much at all. Or New Holland, which out of the 3, New Holland is my favourite, I would say. Okay. Yeah, because even that bigger, juicier Fording goes to 152. Not good. Not good. Right. I'm going to pause the recording here, do a little search on ModHub really quick, see if we can get ourselves a good value medium tractor and jump back in. It's going to cost us a fortune. We're going to have to raise some funds here somehow, even just to pay for leasing, but we can do it. We can do it. So I'm going to jump you off here. I'm going to do some searching and then I'll catch you very, very shortly. Okay, we are at the shop. The shop came and picked us up, gave us a ride back. They've had a quick look. It's knackered. It is, so we're going to have to get rid of it now. It's annoying because I just spent the money on the engine upgrade. I didn't realise the game would still kind of do this, I guess. And that goes back to my my comments, which I've said so many times. I hope they change the way that the kind of damage works in the new game. I really do. And I won't go through it all again, but they could do so much better. So a brand new engine, that should have lasted longer than... Well, we're still in the same month, in fact, I think. It's not even lasted us a month. Anyway, right. We'll go into the actual trigger. And we'll get as much money as we can. Now let me try and remember. It's about here somewhere. There you go. So we are... Yeah, £4,912 is what we're going to get for that. How annoying. But it is what it is. I'm not going to repair. I'm not going to repaint it just to gain a little bit of extra money because realistically it's scrap. Why would you do that? So goodbye Agri. It's the end of an era. It's been our probably best piece of machinery that we've had. But it is what it is. Sell it. Oh, I'm afraid to press A. Go on. Oh dear. Okay, I mean, there is a positive. We've now got £7,000. That's amazing, isn't it? We're now about to blow a load of it on a new tractor. So I did, like I said I would, in that little cut then, spend a bit of money. Well, I haven't spent the money yet, sorry. Spent a bit of time looking through the mods. Now, I looked at the 3 brands I mentioned. New Holland is what I found, which is kind of suitable. So it is 100,000. I can lease it. It's going to cost 5,000. Yeah, 5,100 to lease. I'm going to tweak it a bit first though. My per workday thing is what I'm concerned about. So look, it's £1,000 per work day. Does that mean every time I skip it costs 1,000, or every time the month skips it costs? I don't know. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that because that could kind of almost ruin the series, I guess, if I'm not careful. So we'll have a look at it. I'm assuming it will divide the cost up. Each time we skip it, we'll pay a part of it. But again, we're going to be making this money back. Now, engine setup. We can't tweak this once we've leased it. If this is going to be the long-term lease, probably till the end of the series, we need to kind of get the best out of it, don't we, really? What I notice here is you've got a 43 and 53 kilometre per hour box. Doesn't actually change the speed on the left though, so I don't know if that makes any difference. But I mean, if I go straight to the end, because we want power, yeah? 212 horsepower, it's an extra 13 grand to have a 53 kilometre box. It's only an extra 8 grand to have a 43 kilometre box, but still the same amount of power. So, I mean, at this point, the Unimog is our kind of speed demon, isn't it? So, yeah, the extra speed would be helpful. But actually, I'm thinking, let's go 212 horsepower, but with the slightly cheaper box. I mean, how much money does that, leasing that will cost us 1,080 a day. At least then that will cost us 1,001. It's only going to cost us £50 more, isn't it? Maybe let's just go. Again, it's leased, isn't it? We can, if we're struggling for money, we will return it. We don't need the front loader attacher because this is not the front loader machine. Lubricating grease, we should have that turned on, shouldn't we? Now this is, of course, going to need to have diesel exhaust fluid added to it. I can see that little blue knob there, right by the step slip. So that's a new thing. We haven't had vehicles modern enough to utilise that yet. We're just going to have to do it. So it's going to cost pretty much what the Agri's just given us back, and we don't even own it. We don't even own the vehicle, but it's fine. So I just need to keep an eye on that per work day. Per work hour is expensive. We could quite easily do that as well, but I think we're too far into the series now to not have to do something like this. We've expanded so much, we need better equipment. So let me just see real quickly. Does it have the option for narrows? I mean, surely it has the option for narrow. Yeah, it does. Oh gosh, they are really narrow, aren't they? I'm not going to use that, but that's good to know, isn't it? If we have issues with the Ford. Right, so we'll just keep it standard. Okay, right, well, it's a lot of money, but let's do it. There it is. There it is. Quite a funny angle. There it is. Yeah. It looks good, doesn't it, at first? The tyres aren't as wide as the Agri, though. Hopefully it has grip. Oh, I'm excited, though. It's been a long time since I've used anything like this. Wow. Look at how modern it looks like inside. Yeah. I don't even think we've leased anything this modern in this entire series. So there you go. 67 episodes, and we've pretty much got a piece of equipment that you would normally start with. Amazing. And it's so fast. 32 miles per hour. 33. It's doing 33 miles per hour. I can barely control it. Right. While we're at this end of the map, we're going to head to the grass field, because I might as well cut the grass myself and then head off down to the bottom field. But at least then we can employ Thierry, give him some wages to do the rowing, because he will be able to do that in the Ford, and that will just save a little bit of a job. Not much, but it will save a little bit of time. Yeah, we're back to £1,146. Oh dear, this series is hard. It's really, really hard. And of course, when it gets to it, when we're actually harvesting, we never did buy the harvester either, did we? We just leased that too. I don't know. Right, let's leave it here. We'll get the Ford out of the way. Disconnect all of this up. Come on. That's what I'm trying to do. There we go. Right, yeah, we'll move the Ford out of the way. If this struggles doing the rowing, then I don't know what we're going to do with this thing. Oh dear. It barely gets over a tree stump. I think having access to so much power now is going to be the downside, I think. I'm not going to want to use anything else. See the size difference as well. Look at this Ford in comparison. It's tiny. Right, we'll just leave that there. We'll set Thierry up once we've left. This is great. This is a really cool tractor. It's got so much power. Hopefully it doesn't skid all over my nice grass field. When in theory it's got some decent tyres. It shouldn't skid. It should have no issues with grip. Let's find out. Connect that up. Alright, we'll do this on screen a minute, because this is not going to take long. It's already lowered. Cool. This should be a nice quick job. And I'll tell you what, it's been a while since I've cut grass and there's that much of it on the ground. It's nearly entirely covered the ground there. That field that I cut in the Abandoned Farm series, which took so long, by the way, with that 1 meter mower. and half of the grass, where all the bushes were, don't actually give you any grass actually drop to the ground. So yeah, that was a lot of work for not a lot of reward. I mean, I made, what did I make? 10 grand? I think I made 10 grand out of that field. But go on, any other map playing properly, that would have been worth 20, double the amount, I reckon. And it would have taken quarter of the amount of time as well. Anyway, right, this is good. I need to get this mower on that abandoned farm series, I reckon. This is one of the mods that's installed on that series, but until we're at a point where we're gonna be buying equipment, yeah, this is just a hope. So we'll make the most of it on this series. Now, just while I'm doing this, with regards to that other series as well, I was going to mention it in the series, but I know that a lot of people who watch Keep It Real do watch that abandoned series I've got going with Snowy. So I'm thinking of a couple of ideas actually. So what we're going to do for definite, I've already decided. I've said to Snowy, right, if you was to have one piece of equipment upgraded for free, still got to be basic, it still can't be very good because we've only got the dayz little tractor which has got like 70 horsepower. But if you could have one piece of equipment, which we'll do here and now, what would it be? And we both agreed plough. I need a bigger plough anyway, to be honest. I cannot cope with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate some kind of off-camera PC bits, and I'm going to give us the next best plough. So probably one of the ones actually that Bendercat you suggested to me in the Discord. As long as the dayz tractor can pull it, we'll go for one of those. So just means we both get, I mean, that starter plough, that wasn't even the plough I wanted to start the series with anyway, to be honest, but it is very small. You've seen how long it took me to do that very, very small field, and I don't think Snowy's even started ploughing fields yet. So he's only going to feel that pain. Part of me doesn't want to change it so that he can suffer like I suffered. But yeah, it will kind of keep the series going, I guess. So we're going to do that for definite. But what's your opinion on, well, when we're going to be able to start buying equipment is one of them. I think from episode 7 onwards we'll start buying our own equipment. I think that's reasonable. But what about loans? Do we allow, if one of us needs it, do we allow ourselves a little bit of a loan? I mean, I'm thinking maximum 50,000. We can borrow 50,000 just to kind of get ourselves started if we need it. You could almost say we've spent enough time redeveloping our farms, getting to know the villages in the area of the mythical woods, that actually we could now apply for a loan. So that's what I'm going with. I don't know. Would a loan ruin the series? That's my only concern. I've just realised I've taken the hoses off. Will it still fold? In theory, it shouldn't fold because I took the hoses off. Let's try again. Oh yeah, there you go. It folds now. That was short-sighted of me, wasn't it? Okay, we'll park this into the shed. We'll get the windrow connected up with Thierry, and then we'll head down and we'll try and finish our slurry job. At least use what the leftover of what's in that tank. Then yeah, sell the rest. Maybe I can do that in this episode. I haven't actually checked how much they pay, to be honest. And I assume you can sell slurry to the BGA without owning it. I'm guessing that's okay. Don't know. I don't really ever sell slurry. Right, that will do. Hoses, disconnect that, brilliant. Right, let's turn this off. So that's just while I'm in the zone and while I'm thinking about it, can we sell slurry on this map? I'm sure we can. Where is it? Somewhere near the bottom, there it is. Yeah, so we've still got 37,000 litres of it. The biogas plant, £58. Okay, November, December. Yeah, I mean, that might just give us enough money to get us through the next couple of months. I could wait. Maybe that will save us a bit of money potentially. But I don't know. Right, I'm going to set up Thierry. And then I'll jump you back in when we are nearly at the bottom again. Oh, this one's playing up now. Okay, here we are. We are back. I just thought while I'm at it, let's just time lapse the whole damn lot because it's starting to get a bit late, isn't it? What is it? 16:07 game time. Yeah, it's getting a bit dark, and I don't want the episode to go on too long again. So, yeah, everything's in here ready to go. Now, if I open up the help menu there, wow. So the field level 66,500 litres. Isn't that amazing? That is fantastic. So I'm just going to go over. I'm hoping that this big new piece of equipment, which probably weighs a lot more, will do a quicker job of this. Of course, the easier the difficulty, the easier it is to compact as well. So it does always take a little bit longer. But it is what it is. It's compacted down pretty good, actually. Yeah, it's not doing a bad job. So that's great. So we want to cover this in this episode, just to get in the meantime, again, when we skip forward, hopefully we will, not that we can afford to, but hopefully we will skip forward. By the time we get into sort of December, January, this should be fermented, ready to go. That's the plan anyway. That's the plan. I might have to, a bit of it's spilled out, isn't it? I might have to get the Ford with the manure fork and just kind of tip a little bit back in, actually, to be honest, but that's not a problem. Great episode again, though. Great episode. Apart from saying our farewells to the Agri, and I mean, I don't know, overspending maybe on this New Holland. Yeah, I think something like this has been due on the series for quite a long time, though. You've got to spend the money to make the money, haven't you? This is certainly costing us a small fortune, but it is worth it. It is worth it. I mean, to be honest, I've noticed it straight away in how much more powerful it was doing the slurrying, and just how much easier it was to pick that grass up then. It was easy. I didn't even have to think about it. Whereas the Agri, you know, as good as it was, it would have been slipping around a little bit. It would have been causing a few problems, and I don't know. I think a tractor with an automatic gearbox is just an absolute animal, isn't it? Those tractors where it has to kind of physically change gear, they are much slower to accelerate. This thing is good. This is one of the better tractors I've used on farm sim in general, I think. But then you know me, I very rarely use these kind of tractors. This kind of equipment. Yeah, I don't remember, other than Alma, I don't actually remember using anything new. Yeah, I mean, roleplay story mode is just for show, isn't it, really? The entirety of everything I do on that is almost not actually playing the game. I think it almost watches like a TV series. Well, that was my goal with roleplay story mode anyway, to kind of take you into a zone that makes you almost forget it's a game. And yeah, I get into the same zone and I almost forget that it's actually a game. So yeah, although I demonstrate farming in the little kind of cinematic short clips I do, I don't actually play that at all as Farming Simulator. Not at all. Right, come on, this is taking a while, but it's nearly there now. I'm going to stop there because I'm going to have to pick it all up at the front anyway. So we'll leave that there. And yeah, we'll take the Ford back home. We'll connect the front loader on the manure fork. That is absolutely fine. Stick that in there. Yeah. Job is a good one, I think. I'll sell off some slurry as well. I'll probably do that off camera because you've seen me do enough of this slurry now. But I'll just fill that a few times from the cow, and then the BGA is literally right there anyway. So hopefully that will just raise us enough funds to get through, maybe skipping a month or two. I think when I next see this series, we're going to be in debt. We're definitely going to be in debt. But it's going to be very short-lived debt. And hopefully really good. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to cut this very quickly, but I will jump you back in before I say my farewells for this particular series until December game time, by the way. It will probably be this week or next week when you see it. But yeah, before I say my farewells on this episode, let me just quickly do this so you can see me close this up. It won't be a second. Okay, here we go. Turn the help menu on. 66,174 litres. And it's still spit out a bit more, isn't it? It's always a way. Hopefully it'll capture it. Right, we need to blanket this. Blanket the silo. Boom. And, yeah, it didn't quite catch it all. Close. Close enough. Doesn't look very well compacted, does it? But it is, apparently. That's amazing. That's going to be worth a decent amount of money for us. Absolutely. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Right, well, I think we're done. Done a good job. I will off screen have to try and sell a bit of slurry. Otherwise you're going to be in some real trouble. But yeah, this is it. Episode 67. So episode 68, we will be in December. I will make sure of it. And we're going to have a lot of selling to do. That is for certain. So thank you for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. And I guess until the next episode, cheers and gone.